All of this AI tooling that now exists has made it the best time ever to be somebody doing growth in marketing. The scale at which you can create campaigns, create media, create content, and even deploy and ship code, it's never existed like it has now, but it's extremely overwhelming. There's so much that's happening. And so I find that I'm spending a lot of my time talking to my friends who are experts in some domain of growth and trying to download all of the knowledge that I can from them about what they're seeing from the front lines so I can try to take that and then implement that within whatever it is I'm working on. And today's episode is one of these conversations. I'm hosting my friend Yo, who's the head of growth at Deliveroo, the head of growth at Depop. He's one of the most gangster consumer marketers I have ever met. He's now working at a company called AI Apply, and he's going to share with us all of the things that he's seeing work in the market currently and what he's focusing on to make them grow quickly. You're going to learn his short form content plus paid ad strategy, the tactical implementation of what he's seeing actually work, and also the tools that he's using to track the outcomes of those channels. You're going to learn about the automations that he's building internally to automate away as much of his job as possible. And we're also going to talk philosophically about what is to come in this new age of AI in marketing. Yo is a practitioner. He's extremely knowledgeable. And just to give this conversation context, AI Apply is a team of 3 people, and they've had close to 1 million people sign up for the application. And this episode is brought to you by Talent Fiber. Talent Fiber helps you hire the best offshore engineering talent for your startup. You can get full stack devs with 7+ years of experience who work US time zones, have perfect English for about $4 to $5 grand a month. These engineers are cracked. And what makes Talent Fiber different is they're not a headhunting agency. If that person doesn't work out, they'll go and replace them. They're basically outsourced HR. They've hired 300+ engineers for companies. And for you as a founder, the hiring process is super simple. You basically give them the CV that you have for the role. They'll go and interview hundreds of candidates, validate they actually have the technical knowledge that they say they do. And by the time that you interview them, it's just a vibe check. Do you want to work with this person? Go to talentfiber.com to learn more, or click the link in the description. Let's get started with today's show. He's back. He's back again. Always looking kidded, man. I had to go put jewelry on so I could even just like have a little bit of flash. You know, I would just be in your shadow the whole freaking conversation, you know?
I'm shining too much.
People don't know, Yo is like tall as hell too. Like I met him in person for the first time, and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy for sure can dunk."
I used to, yes, I used to.
He plays ball.
Yeah,
Dude, so good to have you back. It's been a minute. How you been?
Hey,
I know you
Cody,
guys are growing like crazy.
I'm good. Thanks for having me again. Yeah, it's been a while
man.
since last time we spoke, but you need to come on my pod as well. It's been a long time.
Brother.
But
Dude,
yeah, all good.
we'll have to come back and chat, man. Today I wanted to just talk to you about you know, there's very few people in the world that like are really good at growth, right? That can like articulate the go-to-market motions that are like, you know, whatever it is that they're working on. And then from that, you know, define the processes and then build automations around it. So I just wanted to talk to you about like what you guys are doing at AI Apply, how you're seeing success with that, like, you know, any arbitrage that you're seeing kind of, you know, in the market. And honestly, just basically download all the knowledge that you have right about this space. So
I'll do my best. I'll try and share as much as I am willing to share. On this,
of course.
But it's obviously, yeah, it's great. Let's do that. And I was saying to you, like, as well, like it's crazy the like space we're in right now. Like there's so much going on. I actually feel quite overwhelmed most weeks. So I'm just like, holy shit, we can do that now. And it's like, it's your mind thinking, you know, like a lot. It's awesome, but at the same time, it's a bit scary, you know. It's like you don't want to when you got that mindset, like growth mindset, it's like a bit scary to think you don't want to miss the train, you know. It's like
no, 100%, 100%. What are you most excited about right now, or like what's caught your attention, or you know what are you seeing work from you know everything that's happening currently in the market?
Yeah, I mean a lot of stuff on the creative side of things. Like up to this point, I was like, you know, AI creatives on the paid side of things maybe was still a bit behind. Now I'm looking at the VO3 videos and like the gorillas vlogging on a TikTok account getting like, you know, 4 million likes in 3 days because it looks sick and it's funny.
Totally.
And it's
Totally.
like, you know, and I look at that and I'm just like, oh, like that changes my whole perspective again,
Yep.
because of the
I'm just thinking
quality
about
of
the
it.
on the street interviews that you used to do,
Yeah,
like those you could basically recreate at scale, which is
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
We made a few actually. We made a few tests where like, you know, interviewing like aliens and monsters and stuff, and like asking them about the job market and what they think about the job market in space and stuff. And we got a few actually that we made, but I didn't post them yet. But it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's there. Like so, like that is very interesting. I think the merge between automation and AI, or like vibe coding and vibe marketing combining
Yep.
together, I think it's getting to a point where you almost go like end to end from an idea to something live on your website that's working.
Yep.
Um,
Are
without
you still
even yeah
leaning on human creators mainly for like your content for like for your paid ads content, so like Facebook ads? Are you
yeah
experimenting with concepts using AI avatars and then having humans do variations once you find like winning ideas, or what's your process look like right now?
yeah we're still experimenting with the AI type content, but the humans account still work much better. So we're
Okay.
still leaning on that. I think there is something special about having a human that can just on the spot just make up a video that, you know, is not prompted in a way.
Totally.
Uh,
Yep.
I think eventually there'll probably be a world where we have both at the same time and they work both working the same way. But we've always seen like a lot less views on AI videos up to that point, to this point. But that might change
Yep.
next week, you know. So we'll just keep trying. But right now, it's like mostly humans on the organic and paid, to be honest.
Totally.
But still
Totally.
with like finding the arbitrage on, you know, what's our CPM, you know, how low can we get our CPM, and finding like the best structure between a retainer and a bonus on the view on the per views
Yep.
point of view. And I find
What's
like
the
that's
CPM you're paying right now? Like, what's the average for? You said you have 10 creators that are on your staff. Is that right?
about right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 10. Uh, but I've got a process now where like I could have like 200. It'll be like the same, to be honest. Like it wouldn't be
Talk
like
to me about that, please.
yeah.
What do you? How could you do that? How would you manage that? What does that look like? Holy shit!
There is there's quite a few tools actually that popped up on syndicating college students in the US. Um, one of them I'm using is called Sideshift. Um, but there's like multiple. Like it doesn't really matter which ones. Like it's just like a database of college students.
Okay.
Um, then you either you contact them, email. I do a quick phone call, 15 minutes call on my Calendly. That is like semi-automated. Obviously, then I do the call. That's not automated. That
Yep.
probably I could outsource eventually, but I think it's nice for me to have like a even like just 10 minutes, have like a chat to see who they are and like
Yep.
what's their vibe.
Yep.
Um, and then
Or how are you tracking that they're actually doing like the work that they're completing? Like, how would you do that? Like, use something like a Shortimize, or what would be the tool stack you would
and
use?
then so Shortimize is the one I use. There's
Nice.
probably others as well. Like everyone is kind of trying to um build a tool like that, but I feel like I find
Yeah.
this one is being a good one.
Yep.
Um, and I basically then create like a pyramid of responsibilities with the creators. So I've got like my king and queens creators managing all the other
Yep.
creators. So after the first phone call I have with them, I never talk to
Oh,
them
nice.
again.
Yep.
It's all between them. They're all managing each other. Where like a couple of them are like paid slightly more
Yep.
to manage the others. They become like
Yep.
the creators managers or account managers.
Yep.
And they all manage on Slack and WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp's probably better because some people, especially in college, they never use Slack yet.
Yeah.
If they never
Totally.
work before.
Yep.
And then what you need is you need winning.
I talked to
Yeah,
another mobile app founder, and he's doing the same structure. So it's really
yeah,
interesting to see you guys kind of arrive at the same thing, where it's like
yeah,
you have
yeah,
these like your best performing creators. They almost get
Yeah.
a promotion.
Yeah. They
And
get
yeah, and
yeah.
basically like give them more responsibility to manage it. So they're all just contractors still, right? Like these aren't full time, right?
Yeah, they're contractors.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And I try to pay like a base of like $1 CPM.
Nice.
But with our winning formats, if they get one video that gets above 1 million views in a given month, my
Yep.
CPM goes below $1. So like then I'm like I've got some creators, they are like on 10 cents CPM
Holy shit.
because they're crushing it. And they get their max bonus, return up as bonus, and then
Yep.
everything else is cream for us. We
Yep.
just
Do you think
maximize that.
to
Yeah.
do this channel, it has to be a type of product that like has a broad enough audience for it to go viral on these For You pages? Like I'm just thinking about like you guys, like, there's a lot of people looking for jobs, right? Like probably like,
Yeah.
I don't know the numbers, but we'll just say 30% of all people are like
Yeah.
actively trying to look for jobs, probably, even if they have one currently. Do you think that that's necessary? Because I'm just thinking about like, the product type
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
kind of
Oh yeah.
critical for this. It's like, product channel fit, right? And it feels like this,
Yeah.
it has to be very broad for this to make sense.
I'll go even further than you. Like, I think you should engineer your product first with that in mind
Interesting.
before you even do the product. So
Interesting.
I've got an example with that. It's not live yet because we've got like 7 different mini products within the product, so we have to prioritize. But I had this ideas for this new way of getting people into the product. And the main product for us is you can get your application kit in like less than a minute. You get your resume, cover letter, follow email for any given job, any given profile,
Yep.
tailored to you with AI, basically. So I found this like
Yep.
new way to get them quicker into the aha moment, and basically mocked it up on a couple of screens. I think I used Figma or Canva or whatever, faked it on the phone, use one of the creators to actually do the clip like over the shoulder, like holy shit, look at what she's doing, like with this type of hooks, like you won't believe
Yeah.
this, da 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 da.
Yep.
I was like to my co-founders, I was like, just give me one shot, we'll see, like just let me put it live. I know it doesn't exist, but that'll be a good way to
test it.
test it. First video, 700,000 views in 24 hours.
Oh my
I was
God.
like,
Oh my God.
thousands of likes, hundreds of comments of people are like, how do I do this? I went on the website, I can't do this. Like that, really like validating the flow. I was like, okay, this is like, now we know we have to build this. Like, well, as soon as we can, we will release it. But yeah, I think you should, like, I don't think there is any limits to this, like no industries, B2B, B2C, whatever it is. I think you should like think about it from like, is it going to look good on a 6-second clips on Reels or on TikTok or LinkedIn
So
or whatever?
you're
on
finding
X,
a content format first, or like
Yeah.
your marketing channel first, and then building the product around that marketing channel rather than the other way around.
Exactly. And you don't have to like invent it. Like you're not reinventing the wheel. Like you're taking winning formats from other industry that you see already going viral, and you're baking it into your thing. So I think that's how far you can push it. Like I think right now, that's how most kids in their bedroom coding apps are thinking about it. Like whether they're expressing it this way or not, but that's kind of what they're doing. Like they thinking about it this way. They see what's going viral. They think about the product afterwards. Then they build it, and then obviously it works on social because they build it with that mindset. So once you
interesting.
Once you have 2 or 3 of these, it never, like literally you can go viral any given day in any given of these formats. Then you multiply it by creators, AI or humans, and you can see how very easily you can build a organic distribution that can get to like millions of views every day. There's no limit to this. Like any pieces of content can get to virality. So yeah, that's the playbook.
We're about to launch this new product, and it's YouTube's going to be our main go-to-market motion because that's like where people get education for it. It's going to be this like data analytics tool, right? But anyway, long story short, it's funny. Like from the beginning, I've been thinking about this of like, oh, like how can I make this so that it will look good when somebody does like a long format YouTube tutorial that's 10 minutes long about this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally changed my mind, like on like, again, basically like start, media first, product second, like that leads into
Yeah,
it. Um,
yeah,
and I feel like all these brands that are actually like having really rapid growth right now, they're accidentally doing this. Like granola is a great example of this, right? Where it's
yeah,
like, I
yeah,
feel like they're just like, they're perfectly fitting into like LinkedIn.
yeah,
Like just like, it feels like it was made to be posted about on LinkedIn, which is great. It's so funny to think about. But
yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
how,
I
how do
agree.
you how do you find these formats? I've talked to some other people and they're like, hey, we go and we basically like, we'll scroll a niche to
Mm,
identify the videos that are outliers within that category. And then
yeah.
from that then influences the product features that we're going to build. And then our team goes and, or we test that media and then our team goes and actually builds that out. Has that become, after you did that experiment, has that changed your product teams kind of go to or like their product development motion? Like has that, or is it still like, uh, uh, still talking to customers as well? But I guess I'm just like curious if like that has changed kind of the team's mindset.
I think it just became no, it didn't change the way we're doing things. It just added one way of testing things that we didn't have before.
Yep.
Because the product we had up until that point, we already had format for them, and they were
Yep.
already working. So I guess that was already done before. Now we're just tweaking on those. We're just like making them, slightly better over time. But it didn't fundamentally like change um, the way we're developing our existing product. I think any new product, yes, now that's definitely like uh, the way we're going to look at things. How do I look for ideas? That's a good question. I think, well, all the thing that's beautiful these days is like everyone's doing build in public and everyone's
Yep.
sharing anything that's working the day it's working. That's
Which
why
is crazy.
sometimes I'm quite, even though I steal a lot of ideas from a lot of people as well, like I'm quite hesitant
Yeah,
myself to talk about ideas now openly
totally.
because like it's a very competitive space and because the cost of coding, launching a tool is zero now. It's been
Yeah,
completely
totally.
commoditized. Your
Totally.
only potential moat, and it's not even a moat anymore because anyone can copy your content as well. But
Yep.
I think one of your like slightly advantage if you're slightly early on like some of these formats and stuff. But to
Yep.
find formats, like there's a lot of people just sharing on X every day, this app that's done like, I don't know, they're all using Shortimize and tools like that. The guys from Shortimize are doing collections of things like that. They also have a newsletter. Like, once you start pulling, you find everything. Like, everything is connected. They're all following each other, and you get all the contents that way.
Yep.
Not everything is applicable though. So like you do have to like pick and choose and like test the ones that are going to work for your industry, for your product, for your thing. Um, but it's not complicated, and I find like the TikTok algorithm is so good now and so
Yep.
tuned in to like what you are interested in. So like my account on TikTok is like full AI apply, job
Yeah.
seekers, interview, resume, da da da.
Yep.
Every time I open the app, the first video I see is literally a video I can steal, like the first one. It's like because it's gonna show you the first one it shows you is
The
the one
best
that's
one.
like the best one, the most engaging
Yeah,
with the most
totally.
comments, the most. So like I always pay attention to the first one. I tend to always like it and save it because I know
Yeah.
it's a special one.
It's the
So
best. Yeah.
even just that, you don't even have to scroll for 20 minutes. Like the first one is like usually
Yeah, totally. It's just a
a
part of your
good.
daily routine.
Yeah, yeah,
Brush your
yeah,
teeth, make an espresso.
yeah. Taking a shit, opening TikTok. There you go. Saving a video.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Um, all right. So to shift gears, I feel like there's so much obvious like alpha right there and that everything we just talked about. But you told me about some of these automations that you guys are building internally to solve your own kind of like growth marketing uh jobs to be done. Talk to me
Yeah.
about those. What are you automating? How are you thinking about that? And then you built this internal tool that like lives in your Slack, which is just fucking crazy. You got to tell people about that too, and like what that feels like for somebody like you that is like your growth person? So first off, what are the automations that you're using or building?
So yeah, that that whole space is like blowing my mind right now because I was not necessarily leaning on the vibe coding side of things until recently. But technical co-founder was like is very into it, obviously, because he's coding like our tool is AI led and all of that stuff. So it was really in tune with that. And then um so we had really interesting discussion on like what we could do to plug in like all the sources of like data coming, from internally, externally, etc. But I would say like where we are getting the most out of AI automation or AI agent is on the coding side of things, which has a component in growth, and I'll give you an example in a second. But I was telling you that earlier, like the way it looks to me from my point of view on Slack now, because we're all fully remote, is like literally like bring me back to Iron Man, Jarvis type thing. Like I'm just talking to Jarvis on Slack and shit happens, and it just blows my mind every time. So
So
the
your
one of
team built this internally. Is that
yeah
how
yeah
this?
yeah yeah
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So it's plugged in, it's plugged to everything on our GitHub
yeah, like your
and
database, your code base.
everything. So I can literally now open my Slack, say it's not called Jarvis. Why did we change the name? Anyway, I call it Jarvis because it's,
Yep.
it's sexier. I could just go like, hey, Jarvis, just like add an extra tab to the website, change this to the footer, and that third image, give me like 5 other examples for it because I don't think it's optimized enough. Like literally instantly will reply to me, be like, yeah, okay, I've done, I've added the code, open the pull request for it, like it's all there for you. Here are the 5 image, like you replace, like it's all like conversational like that. And then it's like, are you happy? Like, check the code if you're happy, just like deploy it, done. Like that's
And is
like
this just for the marketing site, or is this for like the actual application that you have in
that
production?
that is for the marketing side and the application. So we can make changes to the
Insane.
application too. So, but I don't tend to touch the application much. I tend to just tell the guy and be like, "What do you think?" And he will do it. But and still use the same tool. But like we've got this like at this point it's like so tuned in that it's literally just one Slack request, one little message from me, and everything happens. And then our CTO comes in, checks the code quickly, and just merge, done.
That's insane. That's
So
insane.
that that that
What
that is
type of things
nuts.
are you changing? Yo, like what
So
like is it huge changes, small changes, or like what does that look like to how are you actually using this? Because I'm just
so
curious.
the biggest change is probably like the best and the only example I'll give you that is relating to growth, but it's a big one. The two main things you can do to grow business, if you can, is open geographies and add languages. As like if you
Yep.
can increase your TAM and
Yep.
you've got no boundaries to geographies, that's the best way to do it.
Yep.
In my career previously, traditional businesses, and I've worked with businesses that grown really really big. Um, it required a ton of people and a shit ton of time and a lot of
Yep.
translations and a lot of meetings. Like companies would spend millions to open multiple countries, and it would take months as well. If
Totally.
they're good, maybe some weeks, but it would take ages. With what I just described, what we've done now is user coming to the website, user doesn't see his language, pops up, pop-up comes up. What language do you need? We collect the data. Number one language every week is being recognized by Jarvis. Jarvis takes that, creates the JSON for the language, codes the website all
Oh my god.
automatically, opens the pull request. It's all ready. All you have to do is deploy. So every week we could do it every day if we wanted to, but we said like maybe every week we collect enough data to get to a new language. And that's how we went from English only to maybe, I think we got like 15, 16, maybe close to 20 languages now. And they're all maintained and generated by AI, all automated end to end. And that is like, for me as a growth person, like that, I can't find a better example. That is like
Totally.
genius.
Totally.
Um,
It's insane, man. I have so many questions, but I know it's probably going to get really technical really fast. Like, how are you doing this? How are you deploying it? Like, is it did your team build that internally? Are you using off the shelf tooling? But I I don't know how much you know about it, but
I don't even know. Like that idea came from us talking about languages. Like when I joined, like literally, it's been almost a
yep,
year that we have this like running, maybe a bit
yep,
less, but it's been a long time. I
yep,
literally had that discussion with the CTO. We're like, this is the best opportunity for growth. This is how we should like. This is maybe how we should do it.
yep.
And it was like all my beer came back literally same day we had this all plugged in end to end. I was like,
Insane.
man, I don't know how we did it, but I think it's I think it's mostly internally, but I think it's just a combination of like finding probably some packs for JSON languages somewhere on the
Yep,
internet that are already made, and somehow pulling them into the automation with the AI, the LLM, and then
totally.
the GitHub, something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that is like a pure growth application to full on no humans involved automation that will have impact on everything. Like, look,
totally.
man, imagine like all the traffic we're getting that suddenly is getting qualified because it's at the right language, all the SEO, all the like everything. It's just like
Yeah, totally.
just boost the whole business straight away. So
100%. 100%.
yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the automations. What are some of the other ones that you're using or seeing like internally?
Um,
Yo, how
we do
big
a
is your
bit
team now too? Sorry, just to understand like the scale.
free. Um,
And how many people have signed up or like ballpark numbers? Is it the tens of
uh,
millions?
no, 800,000 now.
Holy shit.
But yeah, no, it's big. It's big. It's big. It's big.
Unbelievable. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
What are some of the other automations?
yeah. I use some automation, but I keep changing. I can't even give you one tool. Like I've tried Icon. I've tried like I don't know, like so many different ones to create statics for ads. I
Yeah.
think those are good ones. Like I think, like I was saying earlier, like videos are still, we still need to crack it. But for statics, unbelievable. I've got like a good format for like, the before after type statics. Like you can generate
Yep.
like a shit ton of those instantly
Yep.
now.
Yep.
And if you start scaling your ad accounts and you need more volume, and typically statics do well, like some accounts, they're like
Yep.
80% of the spend, sometimes just less than 50%, but still you need them.
Yep.
So that's a great way to do this. Um, we I use so it's not fully automated, but I use agent for like Trustpilot reviews and like reading sentiments, giving me like some angles and stuff. But I don't do that like,
Nice.
it's not like an everyday thing. Like I do it like maybe once a month, every couple of months,
Yep.
because at the end of the day, like a lot of these things are like, depending on your industry, they're quite obvious. Like our audience
Yep.
is job seekers. Like once you've tackled like the top 10 angles, like you don't need to do it like every day. But like I use some automation with that. As like one-offs, like go check this
Yep.
website, give me like the most all the pain points and like all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
um and then I spoke to some people, like there's some new stuff coming out that or like kind of a combination of all of this, and they become like your AI CMO type thing that combines like sentiment, brand, visibility online, a combination of like SEMrush plus your reviews, plus your social media, plus and that's quite interesting. But a lot of the time I find them like to be quite either like too expensive out of the gate, like they try to like charge you way too much for this, or the incremental information you're gonna get from it. Like I find it sometimes a bit like surface level still.
Yep.
The one thing I thought was interesting, which I don't think is live yet, someone's working on um, multiple agents that are representing your customer, your typical customer, your personas. So let's say you've got like 5 or 6 typical ICPs. They
Mm-hmm.
all become agent, and then you can have them talk to each other about your product, and then you can do polls, ask them questions about your website. Okay, I'm about to change the title to this. What do you guys think? And they all give different answers because they all have slightly different personas, and I thought that was quite interesting. But again, how useful can that be? Like, like what's the fluff and what's the truth on that? I don't know, but I thought it was an interesting way of doing, like, how do you call it? Yeah, like customer research, but without the customer, just with AI. You just replace the customers. You just make them agents basically. But I thought that was interesting. Um, yeah, that's about it right now that I can think of.
I feel like that's
But
more. I just got a I got a clinic.
it's a but it's a lot. That's what I mean.
How are you?
But at the beginning, it's overwhelming. Like there's a lot of these
No,
things, and it's
totally.
like you look at this, like should I use this? Am I missing some stuff there? I think like
How are you
sometimes I'm like,
filtering through the noise? What's your
yeah,
strategy? Like, how are you thinking about that?
I'm blocking it. Some most days I'm just blocking in, like keep focusing on like the stuff that I've been doing for the last few months that I,
Yep.
to like not get too distracted. It's really hard for me because I've always been like I've been my whole career on this, like literally like growing on like digital channels. Like my job was to jump, like to follow what's working for companies that I worked with. It was like, okay, we're doing Facebook ads. Now there's Instagram. Let's do Instagram ads. No one's on Snapchat. Let's kill on Snapchat and grow like crazy. Then da da da. So it's really hard for me right now to do that, but I feel like I need to stay focused on the stuff I'm doing. Not necessarily everything that people tell you needs to be automated and AI generated. Like in some of the cases that we discussed, amazing, like actually amazing. In some cases, especially for marketing, I find it's more automation that actually by marketing, whatever that means. I feel like a lot of these things is mostly automation on the marketing side of things. So I try not to get too distracted, and I keep focusing on like the stuff that made us grow so far. And
I mean,
sometimes
it's classic,
I'll
right?
add
It's just like
something.
do
Yeah,
more of what's working, right?
yeah,
Rather than like, I, I see this so
exactly.
often with like founders where they think they need to do everything. And in reality, it's like most of the time you can do 2 to 3 things really well. And like that's all you need to like grow at the pace that you're trying to
Yeah,
expand.
yeah,
So
yeah. Exactly, exactly. But there's some stuff I'm looking forward to, like all the Meta announcement on like the Meta AI, like what they're gonna. I think they're gonna roll out a shit ton of stuff on the ads side of things.
at creative side, I totally agree.
Like creative side, like one-to-one creative to one person because they have so much fucking data on everyone. Um, I think that's gonna crush for a lot of people. Um, I think they're gonna start. There's something they haven't done anything about for years is all the comments and engagement on ads. That stuff is still very uh, full of bots, lots of shitty comments, lots of gold in it as well. So it's really hard to like just
Filter through it.
filter through it. That's why on that, like that is the part I spend 20 minutes every day manually. I go through all the comments myself. Like, 90% of them I'll hide them, but like within the noise, there are some like good ones that you need to reply to and stuff. Like if that part has a great solution from Meta that is embedded, that is like an agent that talks like the brand, as the, tone of voice or whatever, the tone of voice is my tone of voice, like whatever. But that would be great. But I do like to spend some time to looking at that stuff. Yeah, sometimes I think sometimes it's good to spend a bit of time actually looking through the shit. and
No,
digging,
totally.
you know,
Like, yeah,
um,
having the human like part of you get into it. I think that
yeah,
it's something I'm realizing too is like you get a pulse for the data when you're in it, right? And so
yeah,
it's sometimes better. Sometimes it's better to do that rather than like
yeah,
being, leaning on AI too much, right? Within that analysis that you're doing. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, what is your stack? Like, give me tools, any stuff that you've come across. You've already dropped some like gold already, but like,
Yeah.
what is the other stuff that you're using in your workflows for ad creation, for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
influencer, for anything that any of the go to market motions that you have?
So I mentioned Sideshift. That's a good one to find college students. Mentioned Shortimize. That's a great one to manage accounts and views across accounts, especially views from videos that were posted like 2 weeks ago. That's the problem when you have multi accounts and videos every day or multiple videos every day. It's not the videos that are posted today. It's the one that you don't see that is cooking 10 days later that you need to go back to, because that would be a reporting nightmare. There's no way to do
Yep.
that at
Yep.
scale. So manually, I mean, or with a spreadsheet, like fuck that. So
Yeah.
that's great. And then the one I would add, that is like for me like a lifesaver, is by these two guys that came on my pod actually, Cedric and Raphael. I think one was from Zoe and the other one from Photo Room. So if you might have come across them, I don't know, but they've launched they're building their own SaaS B2B for ad launching ads, and
Okay.
now a little bit of ad creation. It's called Ad Manage. Ad Manage dot. Let me check. I'll give you.
Admanage.ai.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Cool.
that is if you're launching more than, I don't know, 10, 20, like not even a big number, like 20 ads a week, you know how painful it is to go through each of the fucking steps to
It's brutal.
duplicate. Da da da. It's so slow as well. Like Ad
It's
Manager
brutal.
is so yeah, it's brutal. It takes hours. Like so when you have like 50, 100 ads a week, like multiple ad sets across multiple campaigns, da 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 da. Um, the pitch with them is like basically they made it so it takes you 2 minutes. So like that is like a massive pain in the butt out of my butt.
No, totally.
uh, so that is great.
It's also insane that this doesn't exist, and like like I've used a bunch of these other tools and they all just make more work rather than making it faster.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just want to be
yeah,
like, yo, here's the 20 different pieces of creative, like
yeah,
write me different, text variations and like
yeah.
bulk upload, right? And that like
That's that's
I mean
that's
there
what they
hasn't been a
did.
good
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
it's literally 3 tabs: upload, load the ad set, or duplicate another ad set, launch. 3 steps, like boom, boom, boom. I do like click, 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 and then it goes, and then they take 10 minutes to create it. But I can close the tab. I can go do something else, and I come back and it's done.
Amazing.
And they do it with the ad ID as well. So when you do with an existing ad, they keep the engagement, like all that good stuff that when you're into the ad space, it's important. Like you don't launch ads from scratch every time. You use previous
Totally.
ones to keep the likes and the comments. So yeah, they're crushing it right now. I think they've just launched static creation using AI within
Okay.
their tool as well. So
Nice.
then they give you a lot of stats, like they do like country breakdown, top creatives by whatever you want. And then now I think what you can do is like top statics, pull them into their tool. They give you 10 more statics, like whatever, like unlimited amount of statics as part of the deal. Like that's probably my number one tool on that I use on a weekly basis. And I typically launch my ads on Monday. It used to take me the whole afternoon, and it takes me 5 minutes. So like,
Yeah.
no brainer, no brainer.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I don't know what else.
Is there anything else I should be asking you that I haven't? Like anything that you're obsessing about that like we haven't talked about today yet?
uh, I I am thinking a lot about how I can use something like Lovable to help me monetize my time more outside of
Mhm.
my day to day. And I think I found a way to do it. I'm like halfway through my build, but like I literally use Lovable to like get the base done. I just need to plug everything together to make it work. But I've
Yep.
been quite obsessed with that. So I've been in startups for like the best of the last 10 years. And some that,
Also, at some of
became
the biggest companies in consumer apps.
yeah, and then
In
some
the intro,
some
I'll say this as well, but it's like literally Deliveroo, Depop,
and
like just ridiculous.
a couple of unicorns as well in the middle.
Yeah.
But that was small, that was small before.
Yep.
Um and so for the last quite like the last few years I've been like almost every week I'm being asked by someone like a new founder, someone like, can I pick your brain? Sometimes I'm generous, sometimes I'm not, and they have to
Totally.
pay. But now, I've been doing this podcast in Growth We Trust for like a year and a bit. Last year, and you've been on 2 or 3 times. Very generous of you. And I was like,
Gotta have me back, man. I'll come back whenever, always.
you need to come back. Well, I was like, there must be now there is a way I can just take all that knowledge, make it into like a growth AI agent that could just be my own mini SaaS of myself, of my brain. Like just take all the knowledge, even not even that just for me, but like all the stuff that I read, that I curate, that I think is interesting, that I put that all into an agent and give people that find me through my personal brand a way to have access to this knowledge and question it 24/7 for, $20 a month. And
Have you seen these?
I think that would crush.
I think it would kill
As
it.
well
Have you
as
seen?
have the premium, having two buttons, like monthly unlimited or premium $500 an hour, and then you get my Calendly, but like then
Totally.
you I think I think that could be a cool idea.
Have you seen Coachvox.ai? I haven't used this, so I don't endorse
No.
it. But it basically is like all these consultants and coaches, they can clone themselves is the idea. And then you
Oh,
can
okay,
like
okay.
chat with their clone about whatever the problem is that you're facing.
Yeah.
I think it's voice only currently.
Okay.
Uh, but people pay like on a subscription basically to do this, right? Like that's the whole
Yeah.
idea.
But that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I just want my own,
Yeah,
like basically my website, yoannpavy.com, to be that for me. Just
yeah,
and I'll probably make like a 3D avatar of myself, as like the
yeah.
little agent. And
Shit,
then
dude,
have
maybe I should build one of these.
I think so, because you're building your audience, you're getting more and more people. Like as a side, it'll be like it's just a
I
side
never
dish.
wanted to do a course though, right? Because it's
No,
like it's not. It always felt like that information becomes like just it's static, right? Or like
yeah,
it's gonna get out of date. But if it's like
yeah,
okay, I have this corpus of information that's like constantly evolving. I
yeah,
mean, that's where it's like, oh, that could be really interesting because I get
yeah,
I get the same inbound as you, where it's like, yo, can you do consulting for us? And it's like, I don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
time,
yeah.
man. Right? Like, it's just that's not really what I focused on currently. So, I
I
mean,
would,
anyway,
yeah,
you
I
should
would,
let me know how it goes, yo.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I thought about it last week. I opened Lovable. It literally shitted out the website in like 2 seconds. I was like, this is exactly this is perfect. All I have to do now is like just connect to all the sources of, all the podcasts and all the stuff that I've done before.
Yep.
Connect Stripe, connect my Calendly for the other route, for the people who want to pay more for the direct access. And then that's it. I think then I can just use it in my LinkedIn bios and everything. And then I just want to see if I can have someone to pay the subscription part at least one of them, and then it'll be just like the big unlock in my brain, and I'm like, holy shit! Now I do need to tweet every day, 10 times a day, and I need to do the LinkedIn 2 times a day. I do need to do the YouTube. Like it will just validate why I do the content
Yep.
a lot more. But yeah, no, I've been like, yeah. That's in my mind, and I'm not surprised there's already a tool for that, because it's such an obvious thing to have like an AI version of whatever knowledge you hold, and let people just subscribe to it instead of having to use your own time. It's just a perfect way to just unlimited unlimited money,
Totally. And provide a
Yeah.
lot of value. I think that's the other piece of it, is like, I get asked the same questions over and over again. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, it's
this
the
is
same
like,
thing. Yeah.
I wish there was just like, here's this, go talk with it. Like, it's going to tell you everything I believe and like how to approach it, like specifically for your company. I mean, I think that is, I mean, what would get really interesting with this too, is like if it had access to the internet as well. So they could be like, here's my company URL. And then it researches about their company. So it has context on that. And then
Oh
it's like,
yeah, man.
so it's
Yeah.
like you basically, it like it has your knowledge base and then also understands what they are. And then like can like think based off of both of that context. So,
Yeah.
man, let me know how this goes. This is very interesting. Really, really interesting to me. So
I'm sure it would work. I just need some time outside of my day to day to just finish it.
totally.
But yeah, no,
Sweet, man.
I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, like the other stuff that we're doing, it's not like it's the same thing as before, like SEO. It's kind of like, when there's a lot of talk around like appearing on AI results.
Yeah, AI SEO.
But AI SEO is SEO. It's kind of the same thing, like
Dude, it kills me. It
you
kills
know,
me.
it's like you need to appear in other websites, get backlinks, have a shit ton of content matching the keywords. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, we haven't.
It's just brand mentions on like listicle pages. Like we've been doing that from the beginning. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is. It's so funny. We have a bunch of clients on the SEO side that are like obsessing over this right now, and I'm like, yo, everything we're doing, like, it is exactly the same, and it's like that's how, like, nothing has changed. It's just a new medium, right?
Yeah,
and it's so funny to see people just kind of like obsess over this like new wave of stuff. Anyway, it's fascinating to watch. Because all of it's just like, it's like bottom, like rank for bottom of funnel keywords. Like if you're a AI note taker, it's like rank for best AI note takers. Like be on every one of those posts,
Exactly.
So,
No, it's the same. No, the number one thing is what we talked about at the beginning, is organic content, scale. It's a volume game, more accounts, more creators, AI or human, whatever. It's a CPM game. And like a lot
I
of
think
time,
that's the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from this conversation is the scale part of this.
Yeah.
Like it's not like 10 articles a month now. It's like 1,000 articles a month, right? It's not like, 5 videos a month. It's like 200 videos a month.
I spoke to, just to give context to this, because it's very like in our circle, like in our bubble, like we talk to people who they get it, they understand all these new kind of apps. They understand that that's the playbook, and so it's kind of, it feels a bit like an echo chamber. But I was talking to this brand marketing breakfast the other day, like literally 2 days ago. It was sick, dude. It was like at the top of one of the towers in London. It's called Duck and Waffle, because they serve duck
nice
on waffle with syrup. It's amazing. Anyway,
unreal. I love it.
And
it's like a fried chicken waffle place. That's awesome.
Yeah. But like fried duck with waffle on it. It's amazing, with like a fried egg on top. Anyway, and it was like 25 of like, CMOs, brand managers and stuff. Do you know? And like we were talking about social media and stuff. Do you know how many brands still just run their brand account? Just one account, one TikTok, one Instagram.
But it was all of them.
And all of them. And they're all talking about, we still don't know what our strategy on TikTok is, and if we should have, I don't know, like what the fuck they're talking about, like a mascot or whatever. It's like, I felt like I actually stayed quiet for most of the breakfast because I was like, this is so interesting, but at the same time, I don't know what to say
Yeah.
because I felt so like they were so far behind. But that's the like when we talk about all of these things, that's the reality for like the majority of brands out there that are already established.
Yeah.
They don't even hear that what we're
No,
talking about. Like
totally.
it's they can't do it. Like it's also not because people don't want to do it. It's also because they're in the confine of the
Yep. They're in
organization
their
they
own
work
echo
with.
chamber.
Yeah, and
Yep.
they you
Yep.
can't make decisions. You have to talk to your
Yep.
manager to manager to manager to manager. No one can make decisions and stuff. But that's how you it's interesting because that's what whatever the domain you're in, that's what you're competing against. It's like very
100%.
fixed brand guidelines. We can't talk like this. We can't have this. It's just a bunch of no's. Every time you try and do something, it's like, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. No,
Totally.
we can't do that. So it's just, I guess, like it's a good thing for people to start.
I mean, it's how we can win, right? It's how like startups can win. I think that's the thing to remember. It's funny. I just talked to this. It was a friend. She's worked in like corporate, big data analytics, marketing, type roles for the last whatever 5 years of her career. Showed her some of the stuff. Basically, my friend was she's based in SF, and this is her sister, and so she was like, "Hey, can you talk to her just to like show her like what is capable now?" Right? And it was like 30-minute conversation, basically just showing her like all the random like things that we're working on and experimenting with. And she's like, I don't think you understand that nobody in corporate is even like, this is not even on their radar. Like they're not even like thinking about this in any capacity. And I think, when you hear that, it's like, how, and then immediately from there, I'm like, oh, that means that like, there's this huge arbitrage to win basically because they're over here, you know, doing nothing basically. There's no way they can compete. So
Exactly. Even like using ChatGPT to write an email was already a no for them when they were talking about it. They were like, "Oh no, we can't do that because like they were trying to justify why they still need to be in the position they are in." Whereas, on my side, like I've been doing that for the last 12 months because I can write every fucking email I want in like 2 seconds and I just need to tweak it and it's perfect. And it does the same open rate, the same click through rate. No one can make the difference. But it's like, yeah, that's how much how big the gap is. It's massive.
totally.
So yeah, lots of opportunities, very exciting, lots more to come. Let's go.
Totally. I love it, man. Thank you for coming on as always.
No
If
worries.
people want to reach out to you, where's the best place to find you, yo?
Either X or LinkedIn. Yoann Pavy.
Cool.
I think it's just my name on
Cool.
both. So yeah. Please
Awesome,
do.
brother. Cheers, man. As
All right.
always, great to have you on. So
Thanks, Cody.